The U.S. Navy is sending a deep ocean salvage system to help in the search for a missing submersible with 5 people inside. The sub went to see the wreckage of the Titanic, but then lost contact. For more on this, I am joined by G. Michael Harris. He is a Titanic expedition leader and founder of RMS Titanic, Inc. So, Michael, first of all, what can you tell us about the people you know that are trapped in this submersible?
Well, one of the gentlemen that's in the submersible, a gentleman by the name of P.H. Nargelet, worked with him over the last 30 years. He was one of our dive masters at RMS, and he's just an all-around good guy.
And you've led multiple expeditions around the world, including treks to the Titanic wreckage. What can you tell us about the degree of difficulty, the dangers of these kinds of expeditions?
I mean, when you're out in the North Atlantic, it is, we only have a 3-month weather window, which pretty much goes from, the end of June to September, where the seas are calm enough to actually be out there and able to dive, which right now it's really early in the season. So I'm not sure, why OceanGate went out this soon. But, deploying subs in the water and spending all day, on the wreck and coming back, you 6,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. You're 12,850 feet down. And so every precaution has to be taken at all times so that something doesn't go wrong, or at least mitigate everything you possibly can to ensure that nothing goes wrong.
And Michael, give us one example of the belt and suspenders approach, or the typical safety protocols that would be required for this kind of a trip.
Well, it's when we're diving in the Mirs, the Russian subs, or the Nautil, the French submersible, or just like the American Alvin, there is a transponder system that's set up. It's a net that we navigate in so that we know where we are at all times on the wreck of Titanic. We're in constant communication with the vessel up top, and it just makes it for a much safer environment. I understand this vessel, gets put on a sled and dumped in the water, and their only navigation is, from the support ship up top. And I don't adhere to that myself personally, and of course that's just a personal opinion, but I don't think that's the way it should be done.
So the deepest underwater rescue ever accomplished, I think, was 1,500 feet. This wreckage is at 12,000 feet, which is, for context, about 10 Empire State Buildings.
Yeah.
That seems challenging enough, but I mean, when you think of the search, give us your sense of how challenging you think it is, and what do you think's happened?
Well, I mean, we've been salvaging artifacts from the Titanic for the last 25 years plus. And if you're set up for the mission, I mean, we'll usually spend a year and a half planning a salvage operation to recover artifacts, to recover different pieces from the Titanic. And this is not something that you can throw together in, 48 hours. Plus, you have to mobilize equipment. You have to get equipment out there. And I'm not sure there's anything close enough that can actually get down to Titanic's depth to do any good, if that is actually where the submersible is.
And as a final question, Michael, you've done it. You've been with other people who pay a pretty penny to go. Why do people go?
Well, I'm always the guy paying for everyone else to go, but they pay because it's a fascination to actually see the history in front of you, something you heard about, something that had been, gone for 70 years. So it's amazing to see it. It's amazing to be down there, and you get a sense of the passengers and everyone that was on board. It's an amazing feeling. And, it just happens to cost a lot of money because it's very expensive to deploy these subs, to deploy the ships, because you are 486 miles southeast of St. John's, Newfoundland. You're 1,000 miles straight out from Boston. And, the support vessel has to, feed you and house you and take care of you and get you out there and get you down to the wreck and get you back and take you back. So it's a very expensive venture, which is why, for us, it was a business. It wasn't a tourist thing.
Right.
And an experimental submersible, I'm not sure it should be.
Yeah, it's a chance to see a moment of history frozen in time. Titanic expedition leader G. Michael Harris, thank you so much for explaining all of that to us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great day.